Trowel and Holden Company makes a wide variety of hammers. Some are very common and you've probably used them before, and some are pretty specialized. I'd like to show you a few of them right now and discuss how they're used and what makes them good for the work you're doing. Now, the hammer you're going to use every day and one you've used before, it's just a regular striking hammer or hand hammer. This is called a cutter's hand hammer. What makes it different is we provide them in weights from 1 pound to 4 pound in quarter-pound increments. So it's very easy to find the weight of hammer that's just right for you. And the other nice thing about this hammer is they're very well balanced. And the head of the hammer, the striking head, is low on the hammer, which makes for a very easy contact with the tool. Some more unconventional hammer that you may not be familiar with is called a round hand hammer. And these are used again for striking hand tools. And as you can see, when the hammer makes contact with the chisel head, it makes complete contact in one spot. If you do happen to miss, the hammer tends to roll off rather than come down and smack you on the knuckles. These are available in weights from 1 pound to 4 pound. Now, these are steel hammers. Other steel hammers we make are made for cutting stone, and they're kind of special. For example, a mash hammer. The back head is used for trimming the edges of stone, and the blade is used for splitting. Again, this type of hammer made out of steel is made only to hit stone. You never want to hit the head of this tool with another hammer, nor do you want to use the head of this tool to strike a chisel. Similarly, trimming hammers. Again, steel blade and steel back head. Now the back head on these hammers is a little different. You can see they're slightly concave on the back, and this allows two very sharp cutting edges to stay easy to maintain. And I'll show you how a grinding wheel fits in there in just a moment. Another type trimming hammer, again offering the same concave back head, but this time on both ends. This gives you 4 cutting edges. It's very easy to use this edge. When it gets dull, turn the hammer around, use the second edge, and when that edge is dull, you simply rotate the hammer onto the hammer handle, and you end up with 2 more sharp edges. Less maintenance, more work. Carbide tipped hammers are available in a number of different styles. You can see a carbide mash hammer. We call this the ultimate mash hammer. Carbide on both ends, carbide blade, and again, that concave end that makes maintenance even easier. Double blade hammer, a horizontal blade, and also a vertical blade. Trimming hammer, again, carbide on the blade, 2 pieces of carbide on a concave head. This is a newer hammer called a stinger. It's got a hand point carbide on one end. It's great for taking off high spots, and also a blade for splitting and trimming on the other side. This blade is available as a vertical blade or is also available horizontal blade. All these hammers are used to trim the edges of stone and for splitting. The nice thing about carbide as opposed to steel is that carbide never needs to be reforged or retempered. It should outlast the steel blade about 30 to 1, and a carbide is much easier to maintain by regrinding. A stone buster is available in a horizontal blade and also available in a vertical blade, as is the hammer point. The hammer points are available in weights of 2 pound and 4 pound. Both of these hammers are shown in other video clips on this site. Bush hammers are a great way for leveling or texturing softer stone. This hammer has 25 teeth on this end and 36 teeth on this end, so you can pick the texture that works best for you. Bush hammers are also available in carbide tip. This is a 36 tooth on one end and 16 teeth on the other end. One thing you want to keep in mind when working with carbide tip bush hammers is to always strike squarely on the stone surface, never on the corner. That'll prevent the possible breakage of your corner teeth. A recent addition to our hammer line is the carbide tip brick hammer. This has a carbide blade on one end and a carbide bushing head on the other. Again, make sure you hit squarely on any stone surface using the bushing head. This hammer is also available with just a flat carbide head if you want to use it for edge trimming. Now those are some of the more conventional hammers. We also make hammers which you may not have seen used before, but can be very important and useful. This is a slab splitter. We make these in 8-pound, 10-pound, and 12-pound weights. As you can see, it comes to a somewhat sharp edge. This is actually a two-person hammer. One person holds the hammer on the stone, and someone else comes down and hits the back head. You can deliver a powerful blow into stone and split granite 1 or 2 foot thick with this. Similarly, a bull set is used as a two-person job. This one happens to be a carbide tip bull set, but they're available in steel or carbide tipped in weights of 8, 10, and 12 pound. This is more for edge work. So if you want to trim the edge of a block, you would hold this, tip it slightly on its edge, and someone else come down and hit it. The other nice thing about both of those hammers is that the back head can be used to strike another tool. Now, I talked a little bit about the ease of grinding the concave heads on some of the hammers, and I just wanted to show you what I mean, that this grinding wheel comes right in and matches that radius. This is an 8-inch grinding wheel. It'll also work with a 6-inch pretty well. With carbide, you'd use a silicon carbide wheel. If it's a steel hammer, you could use a steel wheel. That makes it very easy to maintain and keep these hammers sharp. And that's really the most important thing that we like to include with the information about our hammers is we do everything we can to make sure that these hammers are made out of the best materials with the best practices possible. The responsibility for safety of the hammer lies on you. Make sure you're wearing all the safety equipment that you should be using, glasses especially, and if there's ever any question or problem with a hammer, stop using it. Give us a call at the factory. We'll help you out. If well taken care of and well maintained, these hammers will provide a long, long, useful life for you.